What do you mean there's a drugged up raccoon and
I fear this is my 13th reason. I've got no idea what's going on.
Yeah, fucking Barbara, let's fuck her up.
Thoughts. I don't have all that many cohesive thoughts. I don't want to pick this up. She just wasn't redeemable after that. It's getting a little bit dramatic, really, isn't it? Hi besties, welcome or welcome back. We are trying again with the mini mic because I just can't make my mind up. The first video I filmed with this microphone did not go very well and I swore I wouldn't use it again. And then I filmed a video without the microphone and it's just too echoey in my flat. My voice just bounces off every single wall. And in the background you can hear everyone around me because I'm surrounded by other apartments. And listen, my neighbours are not quiet. So I need something that's going to pick up my voice, and my voice alone. So we're trying again. This is its last chance. If I hate the audio in this video, we're not using it again. But I digress. I am currently in the middle of 20 series. It's getting a little bit dramatic, really, isn't it? I am in the horrible habit of starting series and not finishing them, as we all are. So this is what I'm going to call installment 1 of trying to finish all of the series that I'm in the middle of. I have got 3 series right now that are top priority for me, and I'm going to be reading the next book in each of these series in this video. So in order of priority, I am starting off with Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. This is the second book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series. This one is about Ada and Wes, and I believe Ada is coming in to be an interior designer on the guest ranch that Wes is starting up on Rebel Blue. We found out about that in the first book very briefly. I don't know a whole lot else about this book other than there's going to be a romance. It's about cowboys. It's about one of the brothers. So Emmy from the first book, Wes is her brother. And we know I just love a cutesy little cowboy romance. Lila Sage's books are very short, very sweet, and they're straight to the point. So this is book number 1. Book number 2 I don't actually have right now. It is currently the 5th of February, and the third and final book in the Ruinous Love trilogy comes out on the 11th, and that is Scythe and Sparrow by Brim Weaver, one of my favourite authors. The Ruinous Love trilogy is probably my favourite dark romance. Don't think we can call it a universe, but dark romance world is one of my favourites. The first book is Butcher and Blackbird, which is very popular and honestly one of my favourite books of all time. And Scythe and Sparrow is a third book that comes out very soon. I'm so excited to get my hands on it. So that is book 2 that we will be reading in this video. And then we have book 3. Just gotta do it. I've just got to do it. I have been putting this book off for around, when did this come out? A week? 2 weeks ago? I just can't bring myself to read it. So scared. I just know that Rebecca Yarros is going to probably break my heart even more in this book. And it's so chunky. There's so much politics to try and remember. I think I need to go and watch a recap video of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I remember Fourth Wing very clearly, but then Iron Flame's kind of just gone over my head. I remember the ending. I don't really remember how we got there, but it is on my February TBR, and I have said on a video that I will read it, and I need to stay true to my word. I've just got to do it. So Onyx Storm is going to be third and final book I will read in this video. This is probably going to take me a very long time to film because not only do I want to absolutely savour every single word of Scythe and Sparrow because it is the last book in the series and I don't want it to be over, but Onyx Storm is gigantic. She's huge. So That's going to take me quite a while to read. So who knows if I will be filming this video for the whole month of February. We will see. So that is what we're going to be doing in today's video. I'm going to start with Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. I'm so excited. I love me a cowboy romance. To be honest, I kind of want to read this one just so I can read the next one. That is following Teddy and Gus. And I'm waiting for their story. Not that I'm not excited for this one. I am. I kind of just want to get it done so I can move on. There's other books in the series. I want to move on. You know? All of that to say, that is the first book I will be starting with. I'm going to get going. I'm going to start reading. I've got my fun drink. I've got my annotating supplies. I've got my cowboy bedding on. I'm so excited. Let's go. And let's hope the audio on this clip isn't trash. Okay, I have some initial thoughts. It does feel a little bit insta-lovey. Ada has basically come to Wyoming to work on this interior design project with someone who she's been talking to online, and she goes to a bar. It is the only bar in this town, I think. And she runs into this hot cowboy, and one thing leads to another, and they end up having this big makeout sesh in a corridor in the bar. And then she goes to work the next day, and her boss, the person who she's working for, is Wes, the guy she was making out with in the bar the night before. Straight away, there's like this initial connection, obviously, or this initial attraction. Especially on Ada's part, she is attracted to Wes, and Wes is obviously attracted to her, but more in the sense that he really wants to get to know her, and he thinks she's really funny and just a really lovely person. But Ada kind of is just thinking he's really good looking. So my thoughts right now are that I definitely like Wes. I think he is just such a sweetheart. And I got a little bit carried away reading. These books move so fast. 1 minute you're starting it, and then the next you're 160 pages in. So I'm now over halfway. Not sure how that happened. Not really sure how I feel about Ada. I have found myself relating to her sometimes, just a little bit. I don't think I'm going to like this as much as I liked Done and Dusted, because I really enjoyed that one. And because I saw myself in Emmy a lot, I think I connected to the characters a lot more than I do in this one. But I'm still really enjoying it. So as I said, I'm halfway through now. Definitely getting a little bit more romance. But for the most part, it's Ada sees it as inappropriate. She can't get with her boss. And this is like a big deal for her, being able to work on this big project that'll be good for her career. So she's basically told, do I keep saying Gus? I don't mean Gus, I mean Wes. Gus is the other brother. She keeps telling Wes that, it can't happen, and he's her boss and they need to stay professional. But they're both very obviously attracted to each other. But Wes has been respectful and he's not done anything, and he's left everything up to Ada. But everyone around them can see that they like each other, and everyone knows that it's going to go somewhere. So they're all kind of pushing them both, towards each other. But now that Ada is opening up more to him, we are getting a bit more romance. Nothing has really kick-started that much yet, so I'm halfway through, and it's kind of just been this back and forth of, we find each other attractive, but nothing's really happened. But I am enjoying it. Probably not as much as the first one, but it's cute, it's nice, and it's very fast-paced, which is what I love. The family group chat. What is she even doing in this message thread? Teddy Anderson has removed Gus Ryder from the chat. Emmy Ryder has added Gus Ryder to the chat. Last message was from a few minutes ago. Emmy, where's if you don't respond in the next 10 minutes, I'm calling the National Guard. I'm so excited for Teddy and Gus's book.
because they're so fucking funny.
I've got about 60 pages left. This has somehow turned into me reading Swift and Saddled in one sitting, and I'm not mad about it. This never happens. I never get the urge to just sit and binge a book, start to finish. And the last time this happened was when I read Done and Dusted. I'm getting very good vibes from this series. Wes and Ada's romance is pretty much in full bloom now. They are so sweet together. I love Wes so much. He is just he's just the sweetest little thing ever. Got so many tabs and annotations going. I really like seeing Ada's friendship with Emmy, Teddy, and Cam. She really struggles to make friends because she just feels like people don't want her around, or, thinks people won't like her if they spend so much time with her. So it's really nice to see her making some friends. Honestly, I don't have all that many cohesive thoughts. I feel like it's just moving so fast that I can't form any sort of thought process. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I like seeing little bits of like the family and like the group chat. I loved that group chat. And we're getting sprinkles of Teddy and Gus as well, which, I'm so excited for their book. I don't know. I don't really know what to say. I came on here to update. I feel like I'm giving no updates whatsoever. Other than I'm enjoying this. I'm probably going to sit and read the rest of it now, and then we will have boxed off our first book in one sitting, which is just absolutely stunning. I just really hope there's no third act like breakup or conflict, because there wasn't really one in Done and Dusted. It wasn't a big conflict, shall we say. I just really don't like that stupid third act conflict in books. Those are all my updates. So basically, no updates whatsoever. I have just finished Swift and Saddled. As I said, it did feel a little bit insta-lovey. They both immediately had this attraction to each other, and that's so okay. But I'm just not sure if I like Ada. I don't dislike her, just some of the things in her point of view that she thought about herself and the way she thought about her relationship with Wes kind of annoyed me a little bit. I understand a lot of it, and I understand why she was feeling the way she was, but the constant battle in her thoughts of it not going to work and justifying to herself why it won't work got repetitive and a little bit annoying. And then some of the things she did and said in the very small third act conflict, it wasn't this big, huge breakup. It was a couple of pages long. It wasn't that big of a deal. But some of the things she did and said really annoyed me. And in my eyes, she just wasn't redeemable after that. But I did really, really love Wes. He is just sunshine personified, golden retriever, cinnamon roll guy. He was so sweet, and seeing his battle with mental health and the way that Lila Sage sort of described mental illness and the way, I don't know, it just made me feel really seen as someone who struggles with mental health. I have had my fair share of battles with depression, and I still do, and it made me feel really seen, and the way it was spoken about really put into perspective what it can feel like to struggle with depression. I just wish it was maybe talked about a little bit more, but it probably would have brought the fun cowboy romance vibes down a lot. I think, obviously, with this being quite a short book, there's only so much you can talk about. It made me connect with Wes a lot more, seeing what he struggled with. I've settled on a 3.75 to be really picky. I didn't love it as much as Done and Dusted. I knew that I probably wouldn't, and I have said that from the start. I think because I just didn't like Ada as much as some of the other characters. I still really enjoyed it. I'll be continuing the series, and it's a great little palate cleanser. It's a lovely little romance. It's so fast paced, and I think Lila Sage does a really good job at putting a lot into such a small book. In the same sense, I feel like there were a lot of sort of side plots going on. We kind of strayed from the main point of this book, which was the renovation. Like, we didn't actually speak about it as much as I thought we would, considering that's the point of the book. I don't know. I liked the epilogue. I liked seeing characters from the last book and characters that are going to be in the next books. It was enjoyable, it was fast paced, and cowboy romances are always just going to be a fun time. Good morning, besties. No, it's not even remotely morning. It's 2 p.m. I have been rotting in bed all day because I've got an exam tomorrow. So I've just been studying in bed. And we have encountered a small problem. I am really in the mood to read a dark romance, and I really, really, really want to pick up Scythe and Sparrow. It's not out yet. I don't think it comes out until Tuesday. It's Thursday today. So we can't pick that up yet, which is making me so sad because I hate when I'm in a mood to read a specific genre or a specific book and I can't because it's not out yet. So I am going to have to pick up Onyx Storm. Don't get me wrong, I'm so excited to read this. I just don't know if I'm in a fantasy mood. I don't want to pick this up. I think that's a really bad sign. Not pick this up because I'm not excited for this book. I don't want to pick it up because I have been waiting so long for this to come out, and as soon as it's over, who knows how long I'm going to be waiting until the next book. It's so big, and I probably won't have this finished by the time Scythe and Sparrow comes out, which means if I start this, I have to wait even longer to start Scythe and Sparrow. There's a whole lot of thoughts going on right now, but I have no other options. So we are picking up Onyx Storm, but I'm going to read it on my Kindle because if you think I'm sitting in bed holding that monster of a book, you are wrong. But anyway, I am going to start Onyx Storm now. You're all so welcome, and it's going to take me a hot minute. I think I'm going to be reading this book for the foreseeable future. I don't see an end in sight. I've just been hearing such mixed things about it. Some people have been saying it's 6-star read, they absolutely love it, favourite book in the series, and other people have been saying it's the most disappointing book of the year. It's the beginning of February, so that says a lot. But as I've said 1,000 times, reading is subjective. I might love it. I'm still scared though. But anyway, I'm going to start reading. I will be back at some point with thoughts. I'm scared to get into the politics again. Fear I have no idea what's going on. If I can't wrap my head around what's going on, I'm going to go and watch a recap video of Iron Flame. Because can I recall anything that happened in that book? No. In fact, no, not a single thing except the ending. I've been yapping for way too long. We're going to start Onyx Storm, and that's all I have to say, actually. Okay, I've encountered another issue. I fear my Kindle has given up on me. Application error. The selected application could not be started. Please try again. I've literally just unlocked it. I've just turned it on. I haven't opened any applications. Touchscreen won't work. I fear this is my 13th reason. What do you mean my Kindle won't work? I swear I got my Kindle not like a year ago. The last thing I need right now is having to buy a new Kindle. please work. I think I'm just going to go back to bed, actually. I think I just don't want to deal with this right now.
Okay, I am just under 200 pages into Onyx Store. I've got no idea what's going on. I watched a few sort of like recap videos of Iron Flame and Fourth Wing. I have an overarching idea of what happened in both of the books. I remember Fourth Wing a lot more clearly than I do Iron Flame because there's so much like politics and new characters to remember from that one. I've got no idea what's going on, babes. No idea. I'm really struggling with the characters because I don't remember any of them, like all of the different professors and all the side characters and all this politics. Not a clue. I'm kind of just reading it for the vibes right now. Like, things are mentioned and I'm like, don't know what that means. Next page. Basically, what's going on right now. I don't want to say too much because obviously this is the third book and whatever I say is going to spoil the other book. We are following our characters as they are trying to find what was revealed at the end of Iron Flame. That's all I'm going to say. Obviously, it'll spoil Iron Flame if I say what they're looking for. I'm still loving the romance. Our main side characters are the only ones I remember. Look, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to be so honest, I don't have a clue. I don't remember any of the politics. I'm just having a good old time, kind of struggling with a lot. Is reading very slowly. Like, I feel like I have been reading this for so long and I'm getting nowhere fast. Kind of a lot's happening, but kind of nothing's happening. I don't know. I really don't have a lot to say. I just wanted to update you on where I was up to. Kind of stressed, not gonna lie.
Okay, I feel like I am emotionally ready to inform you on my experience of reading Onyx Storm. I really, really enjoyed this one. I don't have the book with me to like hold it up, but anyway, I really enjoyed this one. There were so many emotional moments, as you saw from me just basically crying through the whole thing. But not even just with Violet and Xaden, with the dragons and their relationships and their bond they have with each other and their riders, and with the side characters and this found family, and just the whole friendship dynamic was just so emotional throughout the whole book. And Dana was hilarious in this book. She is given full attitude teenager. The things that she would like throw at Tarn and she would mimic what he was saying like a child or like a teenager. She was just so funny in this. I genuinely think Andana is my favourite character, and she's a dragon. I also really enjoyed the romance in this one a lot more than in Iron Flame. I loved that, without giving too much away and without spoiling anything, I loved that Violet just would not give up on Xaden no matter what, and Xaden wouldn't give up on himself because of his love for Violet, and that it would crush her. I don't really know what to say without spoiling anything, but I really enjoyed the romance in this one. The politics was pretty difficult to wrap my head around. I feel like I've said it so many times, but I just didn't remember anything that happened really in Iron Flame. And obviously, so many new characters got introduced, and so many different plot points that involved politics all just completely went over my head. So, there were moments in Onyx Storm where it was supposed to be a big plot point or a big plot twist or something really emotional. And because of the characters it involved, I was kind of like, it didn't hit me the same because I didn't really remember their significance in the story. And so many professors and teachers and the dragons, and I was constantly flipping to the front of the book, right, whose dragon is this and what signet do they have? And it was just a lot to wrap my head around. And I feel like at points it did take away from the story a little bit because I read Iron Flame obviously so long ago and I didn't reread it before going into Onyx Storm. I don't know, there was just a lot that went over my head, and I feel like if Fourth Wing and Iron Flame were fresher in my head, they would have hit harder, if that makes sense. This ended on such a huge cliffhanger, but I have got, what, 2 years to wait until the next book comes out? I have questions. It has taken me days to wrap my head around what the hell I've just read, what has just happened, the emotional trauma this book has brought me. I would go on TikTok and something would come up and it'd be a song or a quote or just fan art, anything to do with Onyx Storm, and I was sat in bed crying. I was grieving, or I don't even know. I was actually grieving real characters, real people, I guess. I don't know. This book just hurt. It hurts a lot, actually. Overall, it was such a big redemption, in my opinion, from Iron Flame. I did enjoy Iron Flame, but it definitely is not my favourite book in the series so far. I feel like there was just too much filler and it was giving very much second book. I don't know. I just didn't. Iron Flame wasn't my favourite. This, however, was a masterpiece, and it gave me the same sort of excited feeling that Fourth Wing did, and going into battle and the romance and just the giddiness of reading a romance. That's what this book delivered. So I have settled on a 4.5. Fourth Wing is a 5-6 star read for me, one of the best books of all time in my opinion. Then I would rate Onyx Storm 4.5, and then I'd say Iron Flame probably like a 4 maybe. But yes, I did really enjoy it. I'm glad that I have finally tackled it and I can now discuss it with people. But I'm also extremely sad because it's over for the next maybe 2 years or however long I'm gonna have to wait for the fourth book. And I know some things that are probably going to happen in that book that is going to absolutely destroy me. So I'm going to need those 2 years to mentally prepare myself for whatever the hell is going to happen. Anyway, rambling. I finished Onyx Storm, I gave it 4.5 stars, and now I am reading Scythe and Sparrow. and I am going to let past Regan take you through the reading experience for this one, because that's how long it has taken me to wrap my head around Onyx Storm, that I have had to read another book first to make my brain work again. Oh, and also, if anyone cared, Riddick is and will continue to be my favourite character in the Empyrean series. He is hilarious. His relationship with his dragon is iconic, and I think most of the points in the book where I was laughing or giggling at something, it was something to do with him. He is a bestie, we love him, and I just wanted to throw that in there, that Rebecca Yarros, if something happens to sweet angel baby Riddick, I'm going to personally come after you. Don't say you weren't warned. Thank you very much. I cannot take myself seriously with this thing on my head. But it's time to start Scythe and Sparrow. I have got no idea what this book's about, other than it's the third and final book in the series. It's following Fionn and Rose. Fionn is one of the Kane brothers, and Rose, I think, worked in a circus or of that extremity, and she was in an accident of sorts. Listen, I don't know. I think this might be set along the same timeline as Leather and Lark, because I know Rose and her injury was mentioned in Leather and Lark, and maybe also Butcher and Blackbird. I don't know. But I love this series, and I'm extremely sad that it's about to be over. But I'm so excited. I'm seated, and I'm probably going to sit and binge this whole thing right now. But hopefully, next time I see you, I won't look like, I don't even know what era this would be classed as, but maybe a little bit more put together, we'll say. Hi guys, let's not mind the state of me. I feel like all I've done for days is rot in bed, and I honestly couldn't be happier. Reading update, I am now 117 pages into Scythe and Sparrow, and I am really enjoying it so far. This is following Rose and Fionn, who we got introduced to in, I think, the first two books, and now we are finally getting to see how they met and what their dynamic is. So Rose worked in some sort of circus since she was pretty young. She does tarot card readings and motorbike riding, I don't know. And she's basically set out to be this vigilante and unalive bad men. Men who are abusive and controlling towards their partners or their kids, etc. And when an attack goes wrong, she has a very bad accident and her gets completely busted up, bones sticking out, the whole lot, and she can't make it to a hospital, so she wanders into this clinic where Fionn works. She has surgery on her leg, and Fionn's like, look, Fionn's a doctor, by the way. Fionn's like, look, you can't go and live in this trailer alone, you can't walk, you can't move around on your crutches, come and live with me, because that's so normal to go and live with your doctor. And even though Rose is on crutches, she has a full leg cast, her leg's busted up, she's still finding ways to get herself in trouble, and she basically tries to she unalives this other man, and it all goes very wrong, and she has to phone Fionn and be like, hi, I need help. She's just very bad and very chaotic at the whole unaliving aspect of it all. She is nothing like Sloane, who is from the first book, who is very highly skilled at unaliving these people. She's nothing like that. She's horrible at it. The blood makes her squeamish. She's gagging the whole time she's trying to kill someone. But I am really enjoying this. It's so funny, even though it's holding some very dark topics, and obviously what's going on in the book isn't light-hearted whatsoever. It's just hilarious. Some of the things that are being spoken about, all the way like Fionn and Rose speak, it's just funny. I feel like I'm very bad at trying to articulate the words that are going around in my head. I'd say as of right now, I'm looking at maybe a 4-star. I'm definitely not enjoying it as much as Butcher and Blackbird, but that is my favourite book in the series and one of my favourite books of all time. Like 6-star read, so it's definitely not as enjoyable as that one right now, but I do think I'm enjoying this one more than Leather and Lark. I think this might be my second favourite, but we will see. I could really do with making myself look a little bit more presentable to update you. But you know what? This channel's for the besties, and the besties know that this is realistically what we look like when we read. Anyway, that's literally all I had to say. I haven't even got my glasses on, so I can't see what I look like. I don't want to know. I'm quite happy just being blind by... I don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna go. This is so chaotic right now. There's a raccoon that keeps breaking into the clinic that's essentially addicted to drugs. I don't know if I can say what they're addicted to on YouTube, but the scene just really made me laugh. Fucking Barbara, he hisses. I grab a crutch and hop onto my good foot. Yeah, fucking Barbara, let's fuck her up, I say, whipping my knife from the sheath at my back. Who's Barbara? The raccoon. I blink at him as Fian pockets his phone and strides to the table to grab his truck keys. Oh, I don't want to fuck her up. She sounds cute. Trust me, she's not so cute when she's gotten into the medication cabinet or the break room or basically anywhere. This book's so chaotic. Like, what do you mean there's a drugged up raccoon breaking into a hospital clinic? And why is it so funny? Hello, I'm back. I managed to finish Scythe and Sparrow last night. I stayed up until I think 2 o'clock in the morning to finish this. And as much as I did enjoy it, I think this is my least favourite in the series, which I wasn't expecting. I thought this was going to be up there. This is supposed to be an interconnected standalone series, but if I'm being completely honest, I really wouldn't say it is. I would class this as just a normal series. I do not think you can read this book if you haven't read the other two without being extremely confused in parts, especially because there were a lot of obviously characters from the previous books included in this, and it runs along the same timeline as both of them. So there were things that happened in the first two books, but from their perspective. And I feel like if you haven't read the other two books, you would have no idea what was going on because it didn't go into detail about those parts. And it did just feel scattered, I think, is how I would describe it. I feel like we were just jumping from scene to scene with no specific flow. It was just like one day we're doing this, and then the next day we're doing this, and 2 months later we're doing this. So I feel like it really lacked keeping my attention because there was no flow to the story. The ending was a little bit more bingeable than I'd say the first 50%, but I just wasn't as entertained as I was hoping or as I thought I would be. I did love the romance, I did enjoy it, and I liked without obviously saying too much, I liked the letters, if you know, you know. And of course, it was extremely spicy because, of course, it's Brim Weaver, it's a dark romance, it is bound to be. And not that I didn't enjoy the spice, but at times I was just like, it's not adding anything to the story. So I was just kind of skimming it. I wasn't all that interested, which is unusual for me. I like romance, I like dark romance, I love spicy books, but I just wasn't overly invested in the spicy scenes in this one. It was overall enjoyable. I would 100% recommend the series as a whole, and if you are going to read the series, I wouldn't skip out on this one, but it just didn't stand out to me. The first book, as I've said, is my favourite book, and then I would probably put Leather and Lark second, and to Scythe and Sparrow last, unfortunately. So I've settled on a 3.75, obviously still an amazing rating for entertainment purposes. It was entertaining, it went by really fast, it is a bingeable read. I just feel like at times, as someone who struggles to concentrate and someone who does get distracted very easily, it wasn't grabbing my attention as much as the other books in the series did. But I did enjoy seeing other characters from obviously the other two books, especially Sloane and Rowan. I love them, they are my babies. But it was enjoyable, didn't stand out for the series overall, but I did binge the last 50% of it. And this was supposed to be the last book in the series, but after reading the epilogue, or one of the epilogues, I feel like there was like 3. I have no idea why. But after reading the epilogue, this is very clearly not going to be the last book in the series. It's the last one following the Kane brothers and their romance stories, because obviously there are 3 brothers, there are 3 books, they've all got their happy endings now. But with the way the epilogue in this one ended, I think we're getting another book. Whether it's following the same characters or not, I don't know. But that is the end of this video. I have enjoyed doing this so much. I have read an additional book in the series. We read Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. And then I have finished 2 books or 2 series that are up to date in publishing. I don't know what the word is for that. I don't know how to phrase that, but Onyx Storm is the most recent release from the Empyrean series, so I have completed that series as far as I can, and the same with Scythe and Sparrow and the Ruinous Love trilogy. This is the last and final book. I think, who knows at this point whether there's another book in this series coming out. So we've completed 2 series, we've continued 1, and fingers crossed I can stop being a serial series starter and we can start tackling some of the series that I'm in the middle of. I'm definitely going to try and do this again, and maybe one month I can do a TBR that is literally just continuing series, because I really need to start boxing some of these off. Like, some of them I have just got 1 book left to finish, or just a novella to finish, and there's no reason for me to not finish them, because once it's done, it's done. But I think I've decided it's my mission this year to just tackle my physical TBR, tackle my series that I'm in the middle of. But I did really enjoy doing this, so we will be doing it again. We're going to call this Installment 1, Episode 1 of finishing series, or trying to finish all the series I'm in the middle of. And we will see at the end of the year if I have started new series, which chances are I am probably going to, and how many series we've got left at the end of the year that are still yet to be completed. But thank you for joining me on this little journey of finishing some series. If you did enjoy this video, you know what to do. Like, comment. I'm really curious to see what everyone's opinions are on Onyx Storm, so if you have read it, please let me know what you think, and maybe let me know some theories that we've got, especially with what's going to happen in the next book. If you want to see more from me, subscribe, stick around, show some love, and I will see you again very soon.